do I feel like I'm about to be offended?
Oh shit, here we go again.
So like everybody else out there, we've been captivated by the movie Leave the World Behind. It took a little bit of convincing, but I was able to convince one person on Earth to watch the movie, and he's with me here, my co-host, Jay.
What up?
And you watched the movie a lot more recently than me, but you've obviously you've obviously picked up on a lot of the symbolism in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, what did you think of the movie?
The movie was pretty average. Very kind of like you can definitely tell like someone in like the Clintons, the Obamas, and all that kind of that had some influence in the movie with obviously a lot of the racial tensions and stuff like that. It just was slow. Yeah, it wasn't. It did play into the idea of if you looked into the movie, you could definitely see some symbols and some things that would stand out. And you're like, are they conspiracy theory? Are they for the conspiracy theory people to pick up on and then like to talk about? Maybe to gain traction. Maybe to, maybe they weren't. Maybe they actually do put them in there. For people that are asleep and blind and don't really look into things and just watch a movie, more or less to how people say the Satanists and the with the cult, that they have to tell you and show you what's going on right in front of your face without you actually knowing. So there was some of those things that were in there, along with the iconic like checkerboard or checker patterns and a lot of blue with cracks in it, which symbolizes, obviously like chaos and meltdown of a system. It goes further with some numbers and the name of the ship and stuff like that.
We've got the number 666 in the opening frame of the movie. I think the clock is 6. There's it's like a picture of like a 6, and there's like a calendar 6 or something like that in the open frame with the wall with the blue wall with the crack through it. I think I know what you mean. And then the white lion, which is also a reference to an old ship. I think it was an old slave ship from way back in the day. But I think I picked up on something that I think I said it a few weeks ago, but I think there's a couple of ways of looking at it. It could be like engagement bait, like they know talking about all this kind of stuff is gonna get conspiracy people talking about it, then it's going to kind of drive up the marketing by itself without you having to really promote it, and then you'll have people flocking to go and see it on Netflix because they want to see what all the hype is about with the the end of the world movie. And I think having the Obamas involved, there's two ways of looking at it. Either the Obamas, like most presidents, will be heavily briefed on what to expect in an end of world scenario, right? Like they would have more briefing than most people. They would have more, parameters set in place. Exactly. Than just the run of the mill person who wants to build a bomb shelter. They have, a lot more stuff, a lot more prep done for them than anyone else. So, I think they probably have a lot to do with it. So there's one way of looking at it, which is they just know what to expect because of briefings over and over. Or, like you said, potentially a little bit of a warning, things to come. All of a sudden, we're seeing reports of billionaires making, large bunkers. I think that's very telling.
Well, they even say that in the movie. So, the black dude, he was in finance or something to do with some kind of that, and his clients, which is a multi-billionaire or billionaire or whatever, he actually they basically say it as these people, these elites, these very wealthy people, celebrities, whatever, they get kind of like heads up. This is going to go down, and which then it gives them an opportunity to set themselves up for whatever may arise. A lot of the times it's so they can benefit from a situation. So, like, let's simple terms, there's going to be a stock market crash. These institutions and whales and people can basically dump a lot of their stock. Obviously, chaos ensures prices go down, and they're in a position where they've got a lot of money that's set up that they can reinvest and buy back some of these stuffs when it's lower, and then the stock market will recover and they make billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's all about chaos, really. And I'm just having a look at a few things to refresh myself with the movie. One thing that I didn't pick up on is the paintings in the backgrounds of various scenes. Each
Yep.
day, the paintings became more and more chaotic and
Yep.
unstructured. And I thought that was a really clever way of doing something right in front of your face without you even
People know
knowing
it.
that it's being done.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't notice that. So just a simple scene with the bedroom with the water. The water gets more turbulent and rougher and waves as the movie progresses, and by the end of it, there's big waves and crashes and stuff like that in that portrait. And also, there's another room, another painting in the lounge room, I think it is,
Yeah, the living room.
which is like black and white, and it has kind of like at the beginning of the movie it has like 3 or 4 peaks, and that gets kind of like more and more chaotic and squiggly and stuff like that. Also, another little Easter egg that we're talking about it is in one of the emergency scenes, where all the electricity and all the power gets kind of cut off, and it comes up with the emergency signal, and it shows the map of America, and it kind of shows some chaos or whatever. There's actually a little QR code. I don't know if anyone picked up on it. There's actually a cute little QR code, which is in the sort of like in the middle off to the right hand side. That's actually a live QR code, and if you scan it, it actually takes you to some theme park that is deserted out in Kentucky, which was apparently built on ancient burial grounds or something to do with that. So yeah, a lot of weird kind of stuff that you're like, what's that doing in there? Why is that in there? Yeah, so.
Well, what I find interesting about that is if there is a scenario that plays out like this, how many people are going to have remembered, oh, there's this weird kind of theme park, and how many people are going to flood to that theme park thinking that it was a potential clue or hint, or thinking there's some kind of facility there where they can be saved. That would be interesting to see as
Could
well.
be. It could be. There actually could be a bunker or some kind of thing there, and maybe it was programmed, I guess, in the back of our subconscious to. So for some people, when stuff goes down, go, oh, maybe there's a bunker there, and go there, and there actually is. Like, who knows? I don't.
It's weird, isn't it? But a few things that I've seen, because my algorithm has been changed because of this. You've seen a few of the FBI and CIA operatives in interviews talking about what to do in a situation like this.
Yep.
And there's one in particular. He talks about having, small denominations of US currency.
Is this
So
the
instead of
dude
having
that has
like the long black hair,
curly hair? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
He's very deliberate. He says you wear closed shoes. You don't wear thongs. You wear closed heel shoes. Running shoes. Don't wear like dining shoes or something like that. Small denominations of currency, because if this is all going down, $1 is going to be worth more than $1. You could be theoretically overpaying for things if you walk around with just 20s and 50s. Weird things that you wouldn't even think. And you were
Depending though,
saying
because a lot of the times that if the government if it's just chaos, then I agree with that cash will be worth a lot more, because obviously if the grids go down, then that's electricity, right? So then there's no phones, there's no banking, which is all online these days. So I mean, anyone that has either precious metals, gold, silver, and cash on them, it can be definitely used to barter, I guess.
Yeah.
But if it's the actual government that falls, then cash won't be worth anything then, because the
Well,
only
I
thing
mean,
that's backing that cash is the government. So I mean, that's, if America goes down, then all of a sudden $1 American is not going to be worth $1 American.
well, I
It
think at
might be worth
first
one
people aren't
cent.
going to know that. You know, at
Mm,
first people aren't going to know that, so maybe that might be the opportunity to moment to use your currency as much as possible, just purely because people aren't going to, you know that that's the case, straight away, and then after a
yep.
couple of weeks, it's going to become more clear. But you were talking about it just before we started. You were talking about what were you talking about? The like an end of days like prep bag. What was it
Okay.
called?
Yeah, it's called a bug out bag.
A bug
And you
out
you were
bag.
like looking at me like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what
Yeah,
is
it's
that?
basically like a doomsday prepper bag. Yeah, definitely after the movie. Like, I mean, I've always gone through these phases where I love just watching the doomsday prepper stuff, and I'd love to have a bunker of myself here. Like, how amazing would that be? Like, even half prepped, I guess, for the end of the world, but I'm not half just prepped for like a boys' room, games room, kind of thing. Because I mean, what is the chances that something happens? But being prepared, I like the 50-50 thing of like being prepared. Like, like you're getting in the water, you dip a toe in. You're not just going to jump in, because then
Yeah.
it might be cold, but just having a foot in ready. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like the idea of the bug out bags, of having basically like anything that you think of. So like a tent, some rainwater protection, something that you can make drink dirty water. So there apparently there's these straws that you can just drink dirty water and it filters it and stuff like that.
Mm.
Some matches, I guess, torches, um, some camouflage, I guess, like like the army kind of camouflagey stuff. Because
A working
if it's the
knowledge
end of the
of
world, then I guess
survival.
people are going to be wanting to steal what you got. Technically, it could really get out of hand quite quickly. Like
Yeah.
we're in order, but I mean, just as quickly as we're in order, it would go to absolute chaos. Like you saw, and everyone remembers,
Only
you know,
2.5 years
the
ago.
the pandemic,
Yeah.
or sure, or the pandemic, I guess, but
The toilet
the
paper.
pandemic. Yes, like what the hell? But like people,
And
and
and that that
I
that
witnessed. Oh, I witnessed it. Like, you'd
yeah.
go there and like, you see an old lady grabbing something and give me that, and they're pulling, and people are acting all feral over it. It's like, dude, relax. Like, so that was just a simple example, but I mean,
And
everyone
toilet
can,
paper is not a survival need.
no, no, but we seem to think it was.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, but if you have a a bug out bag, for example, just having a few of those little things, I mean,
yeah,
would be an idea. But now also as a result, I've seen people with advertising a 3-second tent, where basically is put it down, put a couple of things down, lift up the
yep,
tent, it clips in place. Not too
yep,
dissimilar to a green screen, which kind of locks in place once you pull it all the way up, or something like
yep,
that. So there's a lot of things which are coming out, which are intended to probably corner that market of people that are now starting to search for um, outdoorsy type stuff. But yeah,
yep,
um, very interesting. Very interesting. Now we've both seen the movie. Obviously, let's get back on
yep,
the movie. Um,
yep.
it didn't. It suffered some huge pacing issues.
Hmm.
It seemed to fluctuate from nothing happening to a lot happening. It was just kind of one of those movies where it felt like if it was your life, you'd be driving to work and then, oh, a car accident. Oh my gosh, this is like a couple of minutes of chaos and then driving to work again. It seemed to kind of feel like that scenario. Do you think it felt a bit more like a real world scenario, or a bit slower than what you would imagine?
I mean, first of all, like, I would have been pissed if I was like renting that space, and then these people want to come. Whether I know, like, you're not going to give me half the money. If anything, you're going to give me all the money. and I'm leaving. Like, you know, like if I didn't know it was the end of the world, I would be like, no, you can give me my money now, and I'm leaving this cabin then, like, you know, sort of thing. So some things like that were a bit weird, I guess. And I don't know, just like the things with the Teslas as well. I mean, I guess you could see that kind of possibly happening, I guess. But then there just wasn't many people around. It was like everyone kind of got vaporized, and it was just that one other woman, the Spanish woman, that was speaking. Like,
Yeah,
it was just, I don't know. I just feel like, where did all the people go? Like,
it did feel secluded. Now I know they tried to pass it off as, all the roads going in and out to where they
yeah,
are very,
and
very
then more
quiet
secluded. Yeah,
and more secluded, and they had all these Teslas piled up. But I
yeah,
would have assumed you'd see more people. They
yep.
did have
And like, where are
access
all
to
the
the small
neighbors?
town, but no one ventured out of their area to find anybody,
Yeah, yeah.
which I thought was a little bit weird. And yeah, the Spanish lady who I saw somebody translate that, and all she was doing was just asking if she can get a ride to town so she can find her husband. But I mean, how are we meant to
Oh,
know that? I
oh.
don't know why. That was something important for me to know what she said, but I had to
Yeah,
search it up.
I didn't know what she said, but um, yeah, okay.
Now, something resonated with me. The scene
Hmm.
with Ethan Hawke and Kevin Bacon with Mahashala Ali, where they're going to get aid, get some medicine, and he confesses
Yep,
that he's what does he say? He says he's a useless man. He has no
yep.
survival knowledge whatsoever. Um,
Sounded very much like you.
exactly. Well, I did open it with something resonated with me. Um, But
Uh,
yeah, so that's the kind of scenario that people, like, so many people are going to be facing. Think about how many people you know
mm,
right
mm,
now that, I mean, they might
yep.
be able to build a fence, they might be able to do this, that, and the other, but overall survival skills would be negligible, would be completely useless in that kind of scenario. Like, I mean, not even
Yeah.
having the tools required to actually go and try to survive. They would have to go and loot a Bunnings before they even started to try to survive. How
Well, I
many
mean,
people?
a lot of people these days, they don't even know how to change a tire. Something
Yeah,
simple like that.
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're a man. Like that's just like a normal, not even survival skill. That's just like a normal skill that you should know.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, that
For
doesn't
those of
mean
you
that you
wondering, I can change a tire.
have. Not that you have to be, have to do it, but like you have to be able to know how to do it.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Like, there needs to be some level of learning and skills through life that you know how to do. Maybe not do it well or do it the best, but you know how it's done.
exactly. I mean,
Like
even
cooking,
being able
like
to,
cooking, just normal cooking. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like having the basic skills to cook something basic, even. You know
mm,
what I mean? So I think things like that translate. Yeah.
yeah, like just small things like starting a simple basic fire.
And I guess, if you know someone that is, one of those, like Kevin Bacon's, basically like a bit more prepped and ready and has the knowledge and the tools. Like, even we can talk about Paul, at work. Like, he's been a carpenter. He's in his 70s. There's a lot of skills and way of thinking, and problem solving that he has, that I've learned a couple of things off of him. Sometimes, he'll come up with something, and then I'll be like, "That's such a long way to do things. Like, let's just cut the corner here and do this. Like, it's the same result, and improve on it." But I mean, there's some things that, yeah, like how do you get that? And he'll explain it. So yeah, always learning off of
Exactly,
someone, basically.
exactly. If you know someone who seems to be definitely prepped for this, just ask them how they do it or something like that. Um, this isn't like one of those videos of watching somebody in the Philippines making a entire massive underground house in seemingly one day. This is you know potentially much worse than that. But yeah, the movie itself, I mean, I would probably say crazy story wise, like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah.
If I was going to give it a rating out of 10,
Yep. That's fair.
what would you say?
Um.
Because it makes you think, right? This isn't just a movie where you've
Well,
forgotten
look,
about it 2 seconds later.
look. After the movie, I did start googling bug out bags again and googling bunkers and stuff like that. Like a good way would be to just get one of those. Sorry, my dog. Get one of those shipping containers buried in the ground, some cement and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good movie. Haven't seen it. Go check it out. I think it's pretty good. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to another exciting episode. We're going to have another episode in a couple of weeks, so like and subscribe helps us an absolute ton. And if you have any comments down below, any feedback or anything relevant to any of the aspects of the video, don't forget to comment down below for us and we'll reply in the chat. My name's Dan.
And I'm Jay.
See you next time.